Welcome to Harry Potter and the Anxious Millennials, a show where we delve week by week into each chapter of the Harry Potter series. I'm doing like a new... I'm giving like a new energy.
I'm workshopping some things.
Yeah. Because I feel like every week I come on and I'm like, hi, Ari.
You always go, welcome back.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back.
Even
though
again.
In the intro I say, welcome back.
Oh.
I just really want everyone to feel welcome.
Yeah.
It's my go-to.
You're trying to welcome everyone.
It's our branding.
Okay.
Harry Potter and the Welcoming Millennials.
Yeah. Yes. Let's update it, RJ. Tell RJ the Ampliverse.
No notes. Great. How are you?
I'm good. It's been a very interesting week. I'm trying to figure out how to describe this. The people that we do the CCO stuff.
You can just say you're on your period. I think people know.
Adam.
That's really
a sexist thing for you to assume.
It's been a weird few days for me.
Has nothing to do with my period. I'm in my luteal phase, actually. So
come on, lute.
Nothing.
You better play your lute, honey. Bring. Wait, I thought a lute was a guitar.
I'm thinking of a flute.
Not a flute, girl.
A lute. Not a flute. Well, this week we read chapter 11 called Aboard the Hogwarts Express. And don't worry, guys. We do, in fact, board.
We do.
Hogwarts Express.
Thank God.
Adam, what happens in this chapter?
Our golden trio board the Hogwarts Express and go to Hogwarts.
Great. Love it. Imagine that.
So we start off, they've just woken up. Oh my God, the wind, we have our windows open because it's so warm out.
Nice out, yeah.
And the wind is crazy right now. It's like...
I can't hear it. I can hear RJ a little bit more now.
Can you keep it down? Old man wind.
Yeah. Jack Frost's cousin. Old man wind.
Wasn't there
a wind spirit?
Doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. The airbenders.
Aang, the last airbender.
There you go. I was like, there's something with air.
Avatar Aang.
Great. So we start off, everybody's just woken up at the burrow.
The burro.
The donkey. And what is her name? Molly Weasley. Thank you very much. Molly Weasley is like,
what were
Arthur,
you going
you've
to
got...
say? You just couldn't remember her name.
I just couldn't remember her name. So Molly's like, Arthur, you've got a call from the ministry. And my first thought was, I was like, wait, I didn't remember this chapter. So I literally was like, a call.
Who?
A call.
From who?
Bitch, Verizon doesn't work here.
Yeah, there's no service at the borough. Best believe.
He, Arthur rushes to put on some clothes so he can talk to whoever is needing to be spoken to. And I like that I found out in this chapter that I don't know if it's how all Brits say it, but like she says he wore his robes back to front. She doesn't say he wore them backwards.
Backwards.
Yeah, she says back to front. And I was like,
robes back to front, isn't it literally like it's very obvious you have your clothes on backwards? If it's a robe.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a snuggie. He's wearing a snuggie.
Yeah, I'm like, what does he do? He just literally was like,
oh.
I don't understand.
So, Harry sees that Arthur Weasley is talking to the fireplace. And then he looks in the fireplace and he is gobsmacked because Amos Diggory's head is just like a big egg in the middle of the fire. Which I think the movie does this really interestingly, the way they like visualized this, where it's like your head almost becomes the coals of the fire, the cinders of the fire.
In one movie, they do that. And in the other movie, it's just in the flames. They like change it.
Oh, I don't remember the other movie they do it in.
I think the 5th movie.
Oh, okay. I only remember when Sirius's head is in the fire.
Right.
But I do like the idea that it's just like a big bald head is just like, hey, hello, Arthur Weasley.
It looks like my head is floating because my shirt is so black.
Hello.
What happens? Like, what if you have long hair? Do you have to worry about your hair getting caught on fire? Like, is it warm? Like, does it get too hot?
I just don't think that wizards worry. Maybe that's it. I just truly
I just
they're
don't
so
think wizards
fucking reckless. They just don't have that gene. They don't have the fight or flight gene.
They don't.
Evolutionary trait.
They do not.
So Amos is talking to Arthur Weasley, and he's letting him know that there was a situation at a person called Moody. There was
Which why is Amos?
Say it.
Why is Amos telling him
Right.
this?
Remember,
Care of magical yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The regulation of magical creatures or whatever, the Department of the Regulation of Magical Creatures, you know how he would be involved in the Auror department? What's going on?
Is Moody, are they telling us that Moody is a creature?
Or
What is
that
going
like
on?
Amos, I just think the whole thing is weird.
It is weird. It's really weird.
There's so much setup that she has to do in these like 12 chapters for the rest of the book that like like she has to set up Moody right now, obviously. Like Moody is such an important character in this book,
right?
That he needs this massive introduction where you only hear about Moody for like a page and a half.
Why did she have to use Amos? Clearly she's like, well, I'll just use Amos Diggory because he's also at the ministry and we met him. But I'm like, you could have literally used a random person's head. It doesn't matter. Just be like, Harry walked in and saw a man's head floating in the fire. Like, why does that? It's weird.
Because it's already been said, like, the ministry has a call for you.
Yeah.
So we would have already known they're from the ministry.
Yeah. It was so bizarre. I was like, hold on.
It bumped me. So anyway, what happens is that Moody, a person named Moody, which no spoilers, we don't know who that is. Moody. Moody, more like PMS. Am I right?
What are the period jokes today? What is this?
They're rolling off the tongue.
Are they?
Are they?
I don't know if I'd say that.
So there was, okay, let me see if I get the story straight. So
Okay,
supposedly,
yeah.
Let me see if I remember this because I don't have my book with me. It's at work.
Right. Adam left his book, so we almost canceled.
Left my book. We almost canceled. We almost canceled the series.
I have
we
my
almost
book
ended
though,
right here.
I'll fact check for you.
So Moody was in his home and heard a prowler in the backyard.
Prowler.
Is this all right so far? And then hit the his magical dust bins chased the prowler away. And he also probably shot off a bunch of magic out into the void. Mm-hmm. And then Muggle neighbors called the Pleaseman, which is a policeman. And then they arrived, and now it could be under the jurisdiction of the not Muggle artifacts. It's like the Department of Improper Use of Magic.
Right. Which is fine.
Which is more important, a bigger, higher. It's a federal offense as opposed to a misdemeanor.
Yeah. Sure. Like, fine.
So here's what I have deduced from this intro. A couple chapters ago, I asked the very important question: are Arthur and Ludo Bagman friends? Why is Ludo Bagman giving Arthur 10 seats in a 20-person seat box? Okay.
An affair, Adam.
Okay. Well, or is it just that this is like Arthur's thing? Like everybody in the ministry, that Arthur is your contact. If you have something not great, you can like have Arthur sweep it onto like misuse of Muggle artifacts, which is like not super terrible.
Right. Sure, I believe that. Then like Arthur probably is a pretty popular guy at the ministry.
Which could explain why he would get 10 seats in a box.
But then isn't Arthur like kind of corrupt then? Like that's the problem.
Right. Shouldn't he be leading the department?
It's just him and that one guy. So I think it's just like a team of 2 people.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah.
The other guy is is he a warlock? Which I don't know how that's different. I haven't really learned how that's different.
We'll never know.
Yeah.
We'll
so
just
I'm like,
never know.
But then that makes, for me, I'm like, well, then that's problematic because you're doing the whole like, well, the superior, because Arthur's a wizard or a human, then it's superior to like a warlock, and then that's a little dangerous too. Because I'm like,
but is a warlock a magical creature? Or is it just like a different class of wizard?
I don't know. It's like a hag, isn't it? Because it's witches and warlocks, but maybe I don't even know. I don't even know if he's a warlock. I can't remember. What's his name? Perkins? Is he a warlock?
I don't know. Girl.
Well, I just want to find out. Let me Google it real quick. Perkins from Harry Potter.
Who does Arthur Weasley work with?
Perkins, Harry Potter. A British warlock. That's all it says, though. Oh, and hair color, fluffy white. Thank you.
Perfect.
That's really
That's
really what I wanted to know.
Who does Arthur Weasley work with?
Well, it says human, species human. Why aren't they just calling him a wizard then?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, you're
It'll
trying
never
to,
matter.
Yeah. It's not like that big of a deal.
It'll never matter. Arthur is he makes it quiet. He keeps it under wraps. He sweeps it under the rug.
Right.
The magical rug, as it were.
The magical rug.
The misused magical rug.
Right.
Okay. So this is also the first time we are introduced to the word horror.
Horror.
Horror. One of the worst words she's ever come up with.
What's the 30 Rock show that Jenna was on? Do you remember?
No,
the movie where it sounds the Roger. It's like that's always what I think of whenever I think of horror. The rural juror. But they're always like the Roger. And like no one knows.
The rural juror.
Yeah. But no one knows what they're talking about. And that's always what I think of when it's horror. I'm like, the Roger. The Roger.
So an auror, for those of you who don't know, is a person that
dark wizard catcher
deals with dark wizards.
Dark wizard catcher, the magical FBI.
The magical FBI.
But what happened to hit wizards?
Yeah,
what happened to hit
wizards? Was way better.
Way
wizards. Better.
Bring back hit wizards, please.
Bring back hit wizard.
Is a hit wizard a different name for horror, or is it a separate
horror
career? Or like which is it? Is it or
is it a different?
Is it something?
Is it like is there like a separate? Is everyone an horror? But then like in horrors there are. Like in the Marines, there's SEAL Team 6.
Like FBI, CIA. Is it?
Well, I
Two
think those are
different
two
things?
different. Oh, yeah. That's
what
what
I'm
you're
saying. Two different
yeah.
things. Is it
Yeah.
or do they work together? I don't know.
You know what? We'll never know. That's what's important about this.
Add this to the list, guys.
Yeah.
Things that we'll never get clarification on.
So this is when we find out a lot of backstory about Moody. Just dumped on us. Just like a Gatorade at the Super Bowl dumped on the winning coach. That we just are.
Adam, a sports reference. Look at you.
Thank you so much. Absolutely. Quidditch. So I don't know. So
Quidditch.
Moody, and they haven't said Mad Eye Moody yet. They've just been calling him Moody.
Just Moody.
Yeah. Okay. So Moody, I'm gonna spoil it, and I'm gonna tell you that his name is Alistair. So Alistair Moody worked at the Ministry.
Alistair.
He was one of the best Aurorors. He's friends with Dumbledore, and he's super paranoid because he was so good at catching dark wizards that he basically filled half of Azkaban. So he has a lot of people who do not like him.
I'm sorry, but I feel like that's a valid reason to be paranoid. Everyone's shitting on him, and I'm
yeah,
this man knows there's all these people out to get him.
Also,
so he better be watching his back.
The Wizarding War only ended I don't know, 14 years ago, 13 years ago. I feel like it's not that long ago that. And
this might be skipping ahead a little bit, but there are people. No, we kind of talked about this with what just happened, the riot at the Quidditch World Cup. There's clearly plenty of Death Eaters that did not end up in Azkaban.
Right.
And I'm sure he tried to get them put in there. So it's
right.
I don't know. I think he's correct in his paranoia for sure. I don't know why.
So then it all is just oh, haha, Moody is so crazy. Crazy old Moody.
Yeah, crazy old Moody. Like Crazy Old Maurice.
Yeah. Crazy old Moody. LeFou, I'm afraid I've been thinking.
Wait, no, who would he sing to? Moody. Who's Moody's? Albie, I'm afraid I've been thinking. Albus, his only friend.
A danger. Well, Albus and LeFou, famously gay.
Yeah, iconic gay characters, guys.
Famous gay characters. You get their entire lives on screen. It's very important to remember that.
Also,
has Jude Law ever been oh, I am playing him gay? Or is it just
I was
we're
just
not going to do it?
Have you seen the new trailer? The new movie's coming out. We are famously not a Fantastic Beasts.
It's not for us, and that's
people.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's for Gen Z. It's important that Gen Z gets.
I
don't know. It's for somebody, and it's definitely not for me.
I don't even know if it's for them. It's for it has to be for. No, never mind. I don't know who it's for.
So anyway, back to Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
I guess.
So Arthur goes to work. He's like, I'm sorry, I can't take you to King's Cross to take the train. We can't make this a family outing. I am being beckoned by someone not in my department.
I gotta go. Yeah, someone that's not in my department.
Nor in the department that is being nothing.
Isn't really involved in this at all, but is beckoning me to get there.
They're just worried that Rita Skeeter could find out. Which she should.
Maybe she should. Exactly. You are corrupt, Arthur, and she's going to find out.
So they're all like, well, we'll all go together except for Percy. And Percy's like, oh, I'd love to take you to King's Cross, but I'm so busy. I'm actually #booked and blessed.
Yeah.
Barty Crouch has me running ragged, honey.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's because he let his house elf go. So you're probably doing his laundry, girl.
Probably.
You're probably ironing his boxers. Girl.
Yeah, holding his socks for him.
Yeah, 100%.
Also, though, why would Percy have to come along?
Why do Charlie and Bill? I mean, like, I guess it's an outing for the family, but like, Molly's now paying for 3 cabs to take them to King's Cross, and I was like,
hello, the Weasleys. This is a perfect example how you could budget a little bit more.
And
also,
this is
apparate there.
Also, this is literally okay. I'll give them apparition only because I don't know if you can, like, they have so much stuff. Like, maybe that's like a hindrance to it.
No,
you know what I mean?
No. But Charlie and Bill can just be like, bye. Like, pop up at King's Cross.
Not even at King's Cross, at the platform 9 3/4.
Right next to the engine.
Yeah.
Literally
they
right
can pop up
the
in the Hogwarts Express, probably.
Yeah. They can go to Hogsmeade if they want. Literally.
So, this is when I was like, this is stupid. Because they have to go to King's Cross, traverse through a bunch of muggles, and then end up in platform 9 3/4. When I was like, couldn't they just put a fireplace on the platform and then people could just flew in?
The Flu Network is
the only thing that makes sense in this entire series. It's the only thing that I've gotten behind.
But then she doesn't use it at all. I'm like, there are so many ways you could make this so much easier. Hello?
I do like, strange. I mean, I will like to say I like her, like, head in a flame. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, go further.
Yeah, go in that direction more, Joe.
And also, again, what about, like, Cho Chang is from Scotland? Or the version that's in the film, that actress is Scottish.
Yeah, she's Scottish.
And Hogwarts is in Scotland. So she has to go to London to go. She has to go to London to come on the Hogwarts Express.
Oh, because she is on the Hogwarts Express. Yeah. At least in the movie.
I would assume she is.
Does he see
I
her
would
in
assume
this?
all the students have to go via Hogwarts Express. All the first years definitely have to.
Yeah. Wait, that's a really good point. What if the students are Scottish? They should just go to Hogsmeade then. Like, straight to Hogsmeade.
What if you live in Hogsmeade?
Yeah. Just like walk down to the school. Hey.
Like Madame Rosmerta when she was like a wee 11-year-old. Or sure, has a daughter. Fine. But like, there have to be children that live in Hogsmeade. There have to be children that live in Hogsmeade. I refuse to believe that there's no children in Hogsmeade.
No, 21 and up community.
21 and up. It's actually an aging resort. It's for senior citizens only. It's Margaritaville.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, Flu Powder. I'm behind it. Flu Powder 2024. That's my platform.
Flu Powder. We want more of it.
Yeah.
More of you.
So they're getting them on the train, and Bill and Charlie are like, oh, can't wait. Maybe I'll see you later this year. Oh, I'm so jealous of the year you're going to have. What crazy things are about to happen? And then Molly's like, well, they did change the rules and all. And Ron keeps like getting frustrated and being like, what are you talking about?
I am Ron.
And I literally wrote, my first note is, so Arthur did tell the whole family. That was my first note. My second note is, this is Ari's worst nightmare.
I hate it.
I knew you would hate it.
I was like, why? Because they all like make a little comment. It's all of them. And they don't, it's like, don't say anything then. Just don't say anything.
And for what?
And for what?
Anyway.
The thing is, when someone doesn't want to share something, if they're like, I'm just not comfortable sharing yet or something like that, I would always be like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. But when someone does this shit,
I'm just like, you ask them a question, they just ignore it.
Well, they're purposefully trying to be like, oh, well, you know, I know, I
know something you know
about, you know, that thing.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you what it is. And
I
it's like,
then
why even say that sentence? You are so annoying. It's so rude. I hate it. Bah.
So, in a previous chapter, we had discussed that J.K. Rowling only included French people at the Quidditch World Cup so she could reference Beauxbaton.
Uh-huh.
And in this chapter, they hear Draco Malfoy's drawling voice talking about Durmstrang because Joe Rowling had to make sure we'd heard of the school Durmstrang before we got to the Triwizard Tournament.
The Durmstrang one is fine with me, though.
The Durmstrang one works better, for sure.
Way better.
Way better.
Doesn't make any sense why Madame Maxime was at
with students, just like on an outing to the Quidditch World Cup.
Didn't you, Lauren, and Jordan one time go to the beach with Carrie Cannon, though? Like when we were in like fifth grade or something.
That's so long ago. But honestly, even that is not to the level. That would be like if Carrie Cannon took us to the Super Bowl. Yeah, and was like, I want to take my favorite students to the Super Bowl.
That's true.
What?
That's true. What? Yeah.
So anyway.
That's true.
So he's talking about Durmstrang. Durmstrang is a school that Hermione tells us right after. Durmstrang is like another magical school, just like Beauxbaton, but they're very hidden because they like to keep their secrets. And then this is when we find out the information of how Hogwarts is truly hidden from the wizarding or from the Muggle world. And we had mistakenly said that it was because Muggles would just like walk up and then be like, oh, I left the gas on, and then like have to go back home. But it's not that. That was the Quidditch World Cup. What Hogwarts has is just, it looks derelict, and it has a sign that says, it's abandoned, it's unsafe, don't enter. Let me tell you something about Muggles. That wouldn't work. No. People are still going to be like, cool, let's go check it out.
Let's go ghost hunting in there.
Do you know how many people hop into like abandoned asylums?
Oh my God.
And you're going to have an entire castle that just looks like abandoned? Are you out of your mind?
There are like 12 TV shows on the Travel Channel of that people just going into abandoned buildings and ghost hunting.
They don't even have to be abandoned. There were people who will like film videos of them like going backstage at Disney and being like, I'm sneaking around. Boo.
Oh my gosh.
Like, Muggles do not need are not going to adhere to any kind of like, don't go here. In fact, it would probably entice them more.
That's probably why I didn't even remember that, because I was like, there's no way.
It's just it's bad. That doesn't, no. I'm going to choose that is not true. Hermione read the wrong thing. She misinterpreted Hogwarts a history.
Maybe English people are as serious about not trespassing signs as they are about lines. Cues. Yeah.
So the other thing she brings up in this section about Hogwarts a history and the hidden schools is something called, or what she says that the schools are quote unquote unplottable. And then they were like, unplottable. And she was like, yeah, you know how you can like make a building like unable to plot on a map. And I was like,
how does that work with
none of that made sense. None of that makes sense in any way you can even kind of be like, let me maybe just no.
Wouldn't you have like airplanes like flying into Hogwarts steeples?
I'm going to take a Sharpie to parts of this book and just like take out lines that I don't agree with. Be like, meh. I'm going to do some more editing on this.
From the record.
Yeah, there's the first editor and then there's the second editor, and it's me. So they're on the train, Harry buys a bunch of cauldron cakes for the compartment, which I've decided cauldron cakes are Hostess cupcakes. The one was the like white icing on the top.
Yes.
That's what I've decided cauldron cakes are. And then Hermione is tired of like the Quidditch talk because Seamus, Neville, and Dean like show up and they're all talking about Quidditch. Neville is very, very jealous that he and his grand didn't go to the Quidditch World Cup.
Right.
And they're all talking about it. And Hermione's like, ugh, this is so boring. I don't want to hear this. So she starts reading
Same Hermione.
Standard Book of Spells, grade 4, in which she starts learning what spell? Accio. just to remind you.
No, Hermione knew Accio before this moment. I'm sorry. I don't believe that for a second.
I don't understand. Here's what I don't understand. How is a first year spell the levitation charm, but the fourth year is when you learn bring something to me?
Is Accio? Yeah.
What?
Okay.
So then who pops back in? Draco wanted to show up to have some fun. My favorite, Draco. And he basically gets in this conversation where he's like, he also does the thing that Ron's family was doing where he's like, you don't know?
Oh, they didn't tell you?
They didn't tell you? And then it becomes this whole thing where he's like, well, of course, your father's so far down on the ministry list that I'm sure that he wouldn't know. Neglecting to realize that Percy is like the secretary to like the second in command, I guess, of the entire ministry.
Yeah.
Okay.
But of course, I'm sure he wouldn't even think of Percy.
Well, that's weird because he name checks. I mean, he doesn't name check him, but he says you have both your dad and your brother work at the ministry.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah. So that's why I was like, okay, I don't know.
Stupid.
But it's just like, he's going to get more riled up by being like, your dad sucks.
Yeah, right.
That wouldn't work on me, Draco. Anyway. So
no argument here. Farewell.
I agree. Fair enough. So then they kind of like get in this like argument, and I don't know. It doesn't really go anywhere other than you just know that Draco also has information about what's coming up next.
Right.
That no one else does. And then he leaves with Crabbe and Goyle. And then they get to Hogwarts. The rain is like torrential downpour outside.
Oh, yeah.
They see Hagrid on the platform. They're like, hey. He's like, hey.
Hey, Haggy.
Hey, Haggy. And Haggy's like, hey. And he's like, I hope we don't drown as we cross this.
Hagrid definitely would drown.
How is Hagrid getting in one of those little boats?
Hagrid has dustbin-sized hands, people.
Never forget. Dustbin lids.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dustbin lid-sized hands, which, like, Joe, you couldn't have found something else to use.
Shit. They love their bins.
I guess.
And then the older student, everybody who's not a first year, they go over to the horseless carriages. And then they ride those up to the school. That's it. That's the chapter.
Yeah. Mainly, we had this chapter to learn about Moody, Durmstrang.
Durmstrang.
That's it. Moody and Durmstrang. And
get some more information that something's happening at Hogwarts.
Right.
Ooh, what could
something's
it be?
coming. Who knows?
Could be. It's only just the Triwizard Tournament. Okay, that's it. That's the chapter.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome,
Adam. That was riveting. You're welcome. Well, that wraps up this chapter. Next week, we'll be reading chapter 12 called The Triwizard Tournament.
Which is not when the Triwizard Tournament happens. This is another one of those.
This is the announcement.
It's just the announcement of it.
You're finding. I wonder what everyone was whispering about, guys.
Yeah.
Could it be this? The Triwizard Tournament?
We should count how many times she does this in this book.
I think this book, she does it all the time.
Yeah.
A lot. Very, very often. We don't have a review. So.
Oh. Interesting.
So thanks. Thanks, no thanks. You can find the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you find your podcasts. As always, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe so that we can get a perfect Newt score. 5 stars only, or else you will have to listen to Adam and I talk about what might be coming to Hogwarts, but we can't tell you exactly what might happen. So we'll just
I don't
tell
know
you
what's gonna
something's
be.
coming. It's just something coming.
Pull
but
up
you'll
a
have to wait and see.
chair.
Pull up a chair. Follow us on Twitter at HP Anxious, Instagram at HP Anxious, and YouTube at the Ampliverse, where you can see our faces. We are hosted on Anchor and recorded on Zencaster, so thank you to both of them. And we are a proud member of the Ampliverse. Check them out at theampliverse.com. Thank you, Adam.
Merci.
Dorian. Is that how you say it? Dorian.
Dorian.
He's like, fine. And as always, quietus. That just the word quietus is like quietus.
Quietus.
Yeah, quietus.
Quiet ass.
Quiet ass. Queer ass, queer owl. Quietus.